Stop putting law on a pedestal. We're a business like any other. There's no reason for the egos that the industry can promote. Embrace innovation, embrace technology. It's nothing to be scared of. Generally, us lawyers don't like change and kind of run away from any kind of innovation.
I would like to welcome Kristen Porter from Ono Legal to the Savvy Lawyers show. So Kristen is a law firm owner from Canberra and she specialises in helping real estate agencies. Welcome, Kristen.
Hi, Claudia. Thanks so much for having me today.
Fabulous to be talking to you again. It's been a minute. I know Kristen. Kristen was a customer of ours when she sort of first was starting her law firm. And so, yeah, really looking forward to talking to you about how it's all going and just to get you to share a bit more about the journey, because I think it's really fascinating and it's going to resonate with a lot of people. So let's get into it. So the first question is, can you tell us a bit about about the mission and vision of your firm?
Yeah, so at a high level, we help real estate agents to cover their ass, legally speaking, essentially. So we do this by shielding their assets and future-proofing their relationships so they can create this legally unbreakable agency. And one of the things that we really focus on more than anything in our firm, our biggest, I suppose, value is our own mental health. That has to come before everything. Mm-hmm. And then a close second to that is the client experience. So everything we do, every time we make a decision, we look at, okay, what's the client experience for this? Yes, it might make things easier for us, but is it adding to that client experience or is it detracting from it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how do you sort of, like with those sort of mission and vision and values, how do you, because it's kind of like a living, breathing thing, right? That you've constantly got to chip away at to make sure that you're kind of infiltrating your law firm with these things. So how do you do that?
Yeah, so we have, I started with kind of 4 main values. And I put them on the wall in the office, and when we're not there, I've got them digitally. And that's, we dare to be different, we're cheeky, we're vibrant, and we're game changers. Yeah. And so, every time I write a blog, every time I do up a contract, for example, anything, I look at that lens to say, okay, are we meeting these 4 things? Okay, it's a bit hard to be cheeky in a contract, but you can change the game a bit. You can think innovatively, and putting that lens across everything and having that constant reminder really helps keep us on track.
I'm looking forward to seeing how you can figure out to be cheeky in a contract.
That can be for a later date.
Yeah, you'll figure that out.
I'll figure it out at some point. Yeah.
So I want to learn a bit more about your team, but before we talk about that, your firm's been going for about 12 months now, or maybe just a little bit more, and you sort of took the plunge. You had a good in-house role and decided to start your own firm. So can you just sort of take us through that journey?
Yeah, so to start with, I had an idea to create some legal bots, and that's how I came into the Automio world, using the software to create some bots in the privacy space, and it was just going to be a side hustle.
That's right.
And I was going to keep my general counsel role because I do love working in house, and that's with real estate agents as well. And then over time, I could just see this was going to be bigger than a side hustle, especially going through scale up. And as we started growing, I had to make that decision. It was going to be one thing or the other. Whilst I was still employed, I put my first staff member on, and I didn't have cash reserves. I had none of that because it wasn't a planned thing to go and start this firm. It just kind of happened. And so I started paying my first staff member out of my own salary. And so just really bootstrapping this thing together. And then about this time last year, I made the decision to step out of the GC role and fully into the firm. And so the firm's been going for about 18 months, but it really took off once I stepped out of the day job and saying, I'm going to take this seriously, and it's not just going to be a side hustle.
And were you super worried about that? Like, were you like, am I going to be able to pay myself? Am I going to be able to pay this team member? Like, how did you feel about that whole sort of transition there?
I still have those thoughts today because we're now at 7. We've got 7 staff, and I've just identified the next 2 positions that probably need to come on in the next couple of months. And every time, you feel like you're standing on that ledge and you're like, when is the right time? How am I going to afford this? And it goes through my head every single time, worrying about the cash flow. Mm-hmm. But every time I put someone on, it's been really strategic in what kind of role it's going to be, and it's always helped grow revenue. So it's that, that some of that self-limiting beliefs you have in your head about, oh, I can't really afford it, but then can you not afford it at the same time? If you don't put that person on, you're not going to get that growth that you might be looking for.
Totally. And so tell me about the makeup of your team. What roles have you got?
And so, because we're still a small team, and to keep things exciting, we all wear at least 2 hats. Mm-hmm. So I've got 3 lawyers, including myself. One of my lawyers is also my legal technologist. She's got a computer science background before she came to law later in life. Mm-hmm. And then we've got some law students who do some paralegal work, one of which is my marketing assistant as well, because she's got her comms degree that she's going through. Mm-hmm. And we've obviously, bookkeeper, VA, all those roles that you'd expect to have. But we've identified that the next 2 that we need is a really senior lawyer to join us, to essentially be a practice leader, so I can just step out of day-to-day legal and mm-hmm. focus on the digital side of the business. Mm-hmm. And then we also want to put on a BDM as well to really help grow leads and sales. Mm-hmm.
And so is the BDM and the senior lawyer, are they the 2 hires for the next couple of months?
Yeah, they're the ones I've identified, because again, I was like, oh, we'll put the BDM on, get the sales coming in, but we're beyond capacity at the moment, so I need that senior spot first to be able to deal with the capacity for once we do put the BDM on.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, well, that's exciting. And so how do you sort of get your team excited about your mission and vision and values?
I really include them in everything, and maybe I overshare a little bit, I'm not mm-hmm. sure. But especially the first team member I put on, Noni, because she's been with me from the beginning.
Oh, I remember Noni, yeah.
Remember Noni? Yeah, we did everything together. And so she particularly really likes having dual roles. And so way back then, she helped me with the content calendar, getting the marketing out, everything. And as we've grown, we can put people that are really interested in those roles into those roles. But I've still kept everyone involved more at a high level. Mm-hmm. And we sat down and we worked out, what's that, the queen bee kind of role. What's the thing that we're going to protect the most above everything? And I had the team involved in that workshop. And that's when we came up with the client experience means everything to the firm, and we have to protect that. But we did it together.
Yeah. So you've read Clockwork?
Clockwork, yeah.
Yeah, Queen Bee Role.
Love that book.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and so tell me about your firm's monthly revenue and how that has sort of changed over the last 18 months that you've been in business.
Yeah, well, like I said at the beginning, there was no revenue. I was paying someone out of my salary. So a year ago, the revenue was near 0. And we have just grown so quickly that it's been a wild ride. It really has. I think I'm at the revenue goal that I thought would take 3 years to get to in our first year, and hoping to hit that mythical 7 figures within the next year or 2 as well. But again, that comes down to having the right resourcing plan, having the right team around you, the right coaches, those sorts of things.
Yeah, awesome. And what about profit margin? How are you looking there?
Yeah, I find it quite interesting looking at the profit margin because, so generally speaking, we're hovering about the 45%. Mm-hmm. Some months it skyrockets. I remember the first time it skyrocketed to 80% one particular month, and I got all excited about it, but then it really hit me that actually that's too high given most of our revenue is coming from custom legal work and not digital. Mm-hmm. That was the really big sign of, Kristen, you need to put someone else on. You guys are working way too much. So whilst it sounds like a really cool thing to go, oh, I've got 80% profit for that month, it's really not a good thing because you're burning yourself out.
And you mentioned that mental health is a sort of a key sort of mission and something that's really important in your firm. So how do you sort of keep on top of that? And your team as well.
Yeah, so at the moment, a lot of us are in lockdown in Australia. So what we've implemented, just to keep not tabs on everyone, but to make sure everyone's okay, is we have a cup of tea every morning together virtually. We've been in, again, really high growth mode again, and at that point we need that extra person. So we have been really working above and beyond, and a couple of weeks ago we had quite a few transactions settle, like M&A space. And I looked at our calendar and thought it was going to be a really nice day. We're in Canberra anyway for my Canberra staff. So we called a snap mental health day. We shut the firm for a day so everyone could go outside and smell the roses and all those sorts of things. But more just the little things, keeping in touch, having the conversations, being really open, and I suppose leading by example. And then some of my staff feel that they can say, oh, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Can you take this off my plate? And so really pushing that we're a team, and we're a team for a reason. So if someone is drowning, we move the work around, or if it's just one of those days where you just can't adult, especially in the lockdown space, well, then we just we'd be compassionate about that.
But how do you promote conversation around that? Is it through, as you say, the cup of tea, or have you got sort of structured team meetings where it's sort of open forum to discuss things like that? How do you do it?
Yeah, so we do have structured team meetings, although we've kind of parked them whilst lockdown's happening. It was more just a vibe. I could feel someone wasn't doing okay. And so I just asked them, are you okay? I don't think you are. What can I do? Is there something I can take off your plate today so you can have some you time? So I think it's just being attuned to our people. If you are doing Zooms and someone always has their camera off, I think that's a big sign as well at the moment. Just little things. There's nothing overly special I think that we're doing, except treating our team like we're humans and treating people the way I would want to be treated by a boss. Yeah.
So recruitment agencies, how did you come to, settle on this sort of niche and ideal client?
Yeah, so real estate agencies is what we focus on. And I suppose I was born into it. My whole family are real estate agents. I've been around real estate my whole life. My grandfather started our family agency. My first job was doing letterbox drops and things like that. And then
so you're a hustler from way back.
I'm a hustler from way back. I never thought I was good at sales, and property management didn't appeal to me. And so because I thought I wasn't good at sales, I was like, oh, well, I'll go off to uni and I don't know, do something else that doesn't require any of that. And here I am running my own law firm, and you sell every day. But it just seemed like a natural fit for me because I've just grown up around it, and I speak real estate agent. Yeah.
And did you, right from the start of launching your firm, did you focus on real estate agents, or in the beginning, did you take on other work? How did you navigate that?
Yeah, so at the beginning, no. So I know when I first signed up to scale up, I was just looking at the privacy space, building my privacy bots, because that was just the thing I was going to do on the side. And then I remember you really pushing me, making me really uncomfortable, to push in, not to push into a niche, but to make me consider what niching down can really do. And I was terrified at the beginning because I thought it was going to miss out on all this other work, because I'd always done corporate commercial work for all industries, which I think a lot of your followers and a lot of your listeners would be familiar with. And so I thought, I'll stuff it. I'm going to listen. I'll be coachable, and niche down to the real estate kind of sector, and could not believe the response I got. And I think the growth has been really attributable to that niching down. So I haven't looked back, and I'm so glad I did it. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, it is very sort of, it's a real kind of, it's like the foundation of everything, because, it means you can move so much faster. You can find the right clients faster. You can get them better results faster. It really is sort of the base layer that often people are many law firm owners are nervous to make the decision on. So that's amazing. How do you find these clients? How do you get clients?
Look, mainly at the beginning through digital marketing. I'm just starting to look at affiliate programs, but yeah, a lot in the digital space. So things like, having lead magnets that you're getting, putting out there and collecting those leads, putting out that valuable information, really putting yourself out there as that, amplifying your authority, that you're the person to go to in that space. And so now that brand and my name is out there a bit more, now the referral relationships are kind of starting, if that makes sense. So I think the niching has helped me get the clients. I focused on digital marketing because I love marketing. It's actually why I went to uni in the first place. I didn't particularly want to be a lawyer, but here we are. And yeah, I discovered a few Facebook groups that my niche hung out in, essentially, those ideal clients, and befriended some of these admins, and essentially they're going to be affiliates in the future. But it was really getting into the online space, because that way I wasn't limited to just the Canberra market. We could go Australia-wide, and we've got clients in 5 states now across Australia.
Right. And so where do most of your ideal clients hang out online? Is it LinkedIn?
Not really. They're starting to, real estate agents hang out where they can find their clients. And most of their clients are mums and dads. So their clients are generally on Facebook or Instagram.
Right.
So, because I thought LinkedIn originally and did a bit of work in that space, but then I was like, well, where are they? They're hanging out where their clients are hanging out. So again, just kind of chasing that trail, I suppose.
Yeah. And so when you talk about lead magnets, so can you give an example of like a lead magnet that you're using at the moment that's helping you get leads in every month? How are you doing that?
Yeah, so at the moment I've got a few funnels going, but one of the most basic ones is the agency startup checklist, for example. It's just a PDF, a downloadable one. We'll probably turn it into a bot soon. We have had lead bots that are essentially a bit like a checklist, but they give a quiz and spit out the answer. And so, yeah, the agency startup checklist has been out there. I did run some Facebook ads to it for a while, but kind of not much luck in that space. Well, not luck, but it just didn't really take. Whereas if one of my industry influencer friends sends out an email to their database, the most recent one, I think she sent an email out promoting the checklist, and we had 100 downloads in the first hour.
Wow.
And again, that was free. So that was organic.
Yes.
And so it's trial and error. It really is.
Yeah. And so this influencer in the real estate sort of area, did you have to, did they do that for free, or did you pay them a fee to share that?
No, this one, they do it for free. They see value in what we're doing, and they want their clients to be protected. And so it's just kind of a mutually beneficial relationship. We are looking at formalizing it to be an affiliate program,
right?
But I haven't got that far yet.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's on the cards.
Yeah.
And tell me about the services that you offer. We were talking just before we sort of jumped on, before the interview started, about how you are now offering a membership. So I know that that's one thing that you're offering. So I would love to hear about that, as well as the other things you're offering as well.
Yeah, so we've got I see them as 3 main revenue streams, but they're also a funnel in themselves, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So we've got the digital downloads, so legal templates, for example, that can be downloaded as a one-off. We don't believe in just selling templates and sending people on their merry way. They get an instructional video of me walking them through how to complete it, so they actually know how to use it. So you've got that one-off. Then you've got the membership, which it starts with a health check. And so we do a deep dive and create a 12-month action plan, a bit like the Rachel Rogers kind of model that she worked with.
Yes.
So we do the deep dive, do the 12-month action plan, and then out of that, they can choose the level of service they want to action that plan. And so that has 3 levels of service in it, and they choose. And then the other line is your custom legal work, the legal work that we're all used to doing, the one-on-one kind of work. And that also supports the membership, because the highest level of membership is the done for you, the Kristen just do it for me, I'm time poor, just handle it.
Yes.
And so that supports, but I find that's a bit of a funnel in itself that you can kind of upgrade clients through
Right.
that. Yeah.
And so, so with the first level, what did you call that? Not the digital templates?
Yeah, just a one-off digital downloads.
Right.
Just from the store. We've got a store on our website.
Yes.
And people just go and buy them. It's not legal advice. It's selling legal templates. And then obviously the membership, which kind of sits in the middle, which is what I'm focusing on. Really focusing on growing that. So we then have annual reoccurring revenue.
Yes.
Instead of just, one-off transactional kind of work.
Starting from zero again every month. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm focusing on, trying to focus on, because often the custom legal side just takes over because you just get beyond capacity. But it's about refocusing and getting your head above the weeds so you can actually, remind yourself of your bigger picture.
Yeah. And what has been the response to the membership? Because obviously this is an innovative way of like offering a legal service. And so what's the response been?
Yeah, it's been quite overwhelming actually. And it's really easy to talk to agents about the membership, or sometimes use the word subscription, because they're used to a heap of different subscriptions.
Right.
With, real estate forms or their tech stacks are huge. And so even though it's a new concept in legal land, it's not a new concept to them because they're used to having ongoing subscriptions. And I think the main reason it's been really popular is just that fact that for cash flow reasons, they can spread everything out over 12 months instead of getting those big lumpy legal bills.
Awesome. Yeah. What would you say has been your most effective growth strategy to date?
Probably the digital marketing and really focusing on putting valuable free content out. And just, I suppose I'm still learning where the line is, if that makes sense. So how much do you give away for free? How much do you give? But the thing that I've realized more in the last couple of weeks is making sure you mainly deliver that kind of that high level content that, what they need to do, what they need to learn about, as opposed to the how content. So I find if I get too much into the how, clients can take it away and just, do it themselves, which is fine, but it defeats the purpose if you're talking about it from a marketing point of view and lead generation.
What do you think is your biggest barrier to growing your firm?
Honestly, I think most of the time it's my mindset, if I'm being really honest. If I get really bogged down in custom legal work, I can't get my head above the clouds, above the weeds to see the bigger picture. And so what I do is get onto listen to podcasts, especially in the business and the marketing and the growth kind of space. And as soon as I do that, my head's back in the right spot. At the moment, I know I need a senior lawyer. I know I need someone to come in and run the practice, like the custom legal side. And it's just my mindset of, will I have enough money? But like we've said before, every time we've done it, it has been perfectly fine. And then that person has then, gone on to, grow the revenue. But it's mindset. It really is, for me anyway.
And how do you keep your mindset? I mean, obviously, it kind of goes like this, but I think as you become a more experienced business owner, the dips, like you kind of catch yourself sooner and can kind of catch yourself and get yourself back up to where it needs to be. So what do you do to kind of catch your mindset from taking a dip?
Yeah, honestly, the two biggest things for me is I've now decided how valuable business coaching is. And so I'm not now going to be without a business coach because I find coaches can help you get to that mindset, like back to where you need to be much faster than you doing it on your own, because you'll just focus on your custom legal work that's sitting in front of you, your to-do list. So I think being in a coaching program definitely has helped me more than anything. And also being around other like-minded business owners, especially more innovative lawyers, because I don't know about you, but when I am around more innovative lawyers, you feed off each other, you get ideas from each other and you help each other, as opposed to more traditional lawyers that don't quite understand what you're doing, can make you doubt yourself, those sorts of things. So the right coach and, the right community around you.
Yeah. Yep. Squad is so important for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Final question. If you could change one thing about the legal industry, what would it be?
One thing. My rant, I think, for the last week or two has just been, can we just leave egos at the door, please? You know, I work in commercial law. We're front-end lawyers. I'm just coming across combative, ego-driven lawyers. Like, let's stop putting law on a pedestal. We're a business like any others. There's no reason for the egos that the industry can promote. And I know not everyone is like this. I know this is a generalization, but the last couple of weeks, this has been my my bugbear is that, just leave the ego at the door, and, you know, embrace innovation, embrace technology. It's nothing to be scared of, because generally us lawyers don't like change and kind of run away from any kind of innovation.
Absolutely, 100% agree. Actually, that's been a really common theme as I've been doing these interviews is ego when I ask that question. So that's interesting.
Yeah, right. It's interesting.
Well, thank you so much, Kristen. I really appreciate you jumping on here, and congrats on your huge growth over the last year and a half. Do you just want to share how people can see what you're up to online?
Yeah, sure. So you can either follow Ono Legal on Facebook or Instagram. Otherwise, I mainly hang out on Facebook personally. So yeah, just search my name and up I'll come. Otherwise, if you wanted to connect kind of off socials, feel free to go to our website, which is www.onolegal.com.au, and reach out to us there.
Awesome. Fabulous. Well, I'll certainly be watching and learning, and I always get the sort of the lawyers in my network and all the innovative things they're doing. I find really inspiring, and you're definitely one of those people. So as you know, I'm often like, oh yay, congrats, because you know you're all doing fabulous things. So looking forward to seeing what's next for sure.
Thanks for having me, Claudia.
Thanks, Kristen. See ya.
If there's anything these past months have shown us, it's that the time to make lasting, impactful change in the legal industry is right now. So I want to challenge you to shake things up and create change today. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video with your lawyer friends. See you next week.